I left my hometown 20 years ago. I never planned to return, but when my mother passed away, I had to come back for a short time to take care of things. One evening, I walked past my old school, the only school in town. I felt a small hit of nostalgia, so I stepped inside through the unlocked gate. The building looked exactly the same, same paint, same playground, even the same old swing that always creaked. Then I heard something strange, children laughing, but not new children, familiar laughter. I peeked through the classroom window. My heart froze. There they were, my old classmates, not grown up, not older, exactly the same age as when I left at 12 years ago. I blinked hard, thinking I was imagining it, but no. There was Sarah. There was Andrew. There was Adam, the tallest kid in class. Sarah always braiding her hair. Andrew chewing pencils. Even the teacher, Miss Harina, looked the same. Maybe 30, not 50. Exactly like the year I left. I stepped inside slowly. The entire class turned and stared at me. No one looked shocked. They smiled like they'd been expecting me. "Welcome back," Miss Hernia said warmly. "We've been waiting." I felt a shiver. How are you all still the same age?" She laughed gently. "Time doesn't move the same here." My classmates gathered around me, touching my face, my arms. "You changed," Sarah whispered. "Why did you change?" I stepped back. "I grew up." "You didn't. Why not?" "You left," Andrew said simply. "People who leave, they grow." "And people who stay?" I asked. "People who stay," Miss Hernia said. "Stay perfect." Something felt wrong, deeply wrong. I backed toward the door, but the children blocked my way. Their smiles stretched unnaturally wide. "You should stay with us," Adam said. "We miss you." I ran out of the room, heart hammering, racing down the halls. But everywhere I turned, I saw faces from my childhood. Kids in the same clothes, same height, same innocent smiles. Only their smiles were too desperate, too hungry. I escaped the building and ran home, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. Was the school cursed? Was this town cursed? Were my classmates trapped somehow? The next day, I visited the school again out of curiosity, this time with my phone ready to record. But the moment I stepped inside, something was different. No laughter, no footsteps, only silence. I walked to the same classroom, empty, dusty, as if no one had been there in years. But something was on the desk. My old desk. A photo, a class photo from 20 years ago. Everyone smiling, everyone exactly as I saw them yesterday. Everyone alive. Except one detail. In the photo, there was a faint hand resting on my shoulder. A hand that wasn't there when the photo was taken. A pale, long-fingered hand. I left the school, shaking. That night, someone knocked on my door, gentle but constant. When I opened it, no one was there, but on the ground lay a notebook, my old school notebook. Inside were messages written in childish handwriting. "Come back, we need you. Don't grow away from us. Time is wrong without you." The final message chilled my bones. "You grew up. We didn't. That's not fair." I decided to leave town early, but as I drove away, I passed the school one last time. I shouldn't have, out of habit. I glanced at the playground and I slammed the brakes. All my old classmates stood in a straight line, staring at my car, not smiling, not waving, just staring. Their faces blank, their eyes dark, and behind them, standing very still, was Miss Hernia. She raised her hand and pointed at me. Then all the children pointed too, a silent accusation. I sped away, heart pounding, without looking back. I haven't returned since. That was my nightmare. I will never return. But last week, I found something in my mailbox. A new class photo. This time I was in it, standing among them, looking 12 years old again, and all of them were smiling, as if they finally had me back. As I look back to my body over here, I am 12 years old again. What has happened to me? Has this town trapped me again? Will I ever grow back? One question: can I ever leave this town again? I moved to Ridgeville town because I needed a fresh start. New job, new place, no drama. The first week was peaceful. People were friendly, though a bit too friendly. They kept smiling at me like they knew me. But things turned strange on a Thursday morning. I stopped at a cafe and the barista asked, "Back so soon? You were just here an hour ago." I hadn't been. I was asleep an hour ago. I laughed it off, thinking she mixed me up with someone else. But then it happened again and again. People kept saying they saw me at the pharmacy, at the library, near the lake, even though I was nowhere near those places. I finally asked the librarian, "Did you see someone who looks like me?" She looked confused. "No, it was you. Same clothes, same voice. You even asked me about local history." My stomach dropped. Someone was walking around the town looking exactly like me. Later that day, as I walked home, an old man stopped me. "You shouldn't be out twice," he muttered. "It confuses them." I asked him what he meant, but he hurried away. That night, I tried to stay calm. Probably just mistaken identity, right? But at 12:15 a.m., my front door unlocked from the inside, as if someone had just stepped out. My heart pounded. I ran to the living room. Nothing. Then I checked the mirror near the door. The smudge marks, 2 sets of fingerprints, one mine, one slightly larger. The next day, things escalated. I walked into the grocery store and the cashier froze. "Didn't you just buy milk?" "I didn't," I replied. He frowned. "You were literally here 5 minutes ago." He turned the security screen toward me, and there he was. My face, my clothes, my walk. He even scratched his neck the same way I always did. The creepiest part, he looked directly at the camera and smiled as if he knew, a big, unnatural smile. I felt the air go cold. Someone wasn't just copying me, they were studying me. I went home early, locking every door, every window, but the old man from earlier was waiting outside my house. "You need to leave," he whispered. "Your double is getting too strong. Once he replaces you, the town will accept him and forget you. You will be in big trouble, boy." Forget me? Like I never existed? That night I barely slept. Every sound felt like footsteps. Every shadow felt too tall. And then, just as I started drifting off, I heard breathing in my own bedroom. I sat up slowly, and there he was, me, standing in the corner, half hidden in the dark, watching me with wide, calm eyes. I wanted to scream, but he spoke first. "I like your life," he whispered. "It fits me well. You need to go." My voice shook. "Who are you?" He smiled softly. "I'm the version of you that the town wants." My heart stopped. "The town wants?" He stepped closer. I could see his face clearly now. It was perfect, perfectly like mine. Too perfect, too damn perfect. No pores, no scars, no tiny flaws. Like a clean copy. You are not needed anymore, he said. Go back to sleep. I ran. I pushed past him, bolted down the stairs and out the front door. I ran through the town, screaming for help, banging on doors. But the people who looked out their windows, they didn't look confused or alarmed. They looked annoyed, like they were tired of seeing two of me. By dawn, I reached the old man's house. He pulled me inside and locked the door. His hands shook. It is too late, son. It has already chosen him. Who? What is he? I asked. The old man sat down, eyes watery. This town. It makes replacements. People who fit better. People who won't leave. Perfect versions. The doubles push the originals out. The perfect clones. I felt cold all over. So what happens to the originals? He didn't answer, but he didn't need to, because at that moment I saw through his window me walking down the street in daylight, waving to people, laughing with them, living my life better than I ever could. No one looked for me. No one asked why he didn't have injuries or mud from running. To them, he was me. And now I hide in the old man's basement, writing this. I hear footsteps upstairs every night, soft, patient. He is looking for me. I don't know what happens when he finds me, but I think he wants to finish the replacement. I think once he touches me, I disappear. And the worst part, sometimes I hear him, my own voice, whispering through the walls, let me in. You don't belong here anymore. And you know what is the creepy part? The old man. Now I think he is the replacement. He isn't the original. He's too damn perfect to be the original. Maybe one day I will get replaced as well. Up till that point, I just need to hide from myself. I moved to Brindletown last winter. It was one of those quiet little places with wide streets, sleepy stores, and people who liked to stare a little too long, but I chose it because rent was cheap and I wanted peace. On my second morning, I went for a walk on Main Street. I clearly remember seeing 5 houses lined up on the right side, old wooden homes but colorful, blue, green, yellow, red, and a pale brown one at the end. The yellow house especially caught my eye. A small garden, a rocking chair moving even though there was no wind, and the smell of fresh bread coming from inside. I walked slowly, imagining a friendly family inside eating breakfast. But the next morning, the yellow house was gone. The space where it stood was just an empty gap. Nothing but dry dirt, not even a broken foundation, like no house had ever been there. Something was wrong, very wrong. At first I told myself I remembered the wrong street, so I walked all the way back. But the same 4 houses stared back at me. No yellow house, no garden, no smell of bread. When I asked the shopkeeper, he just frowned. Only ever been 4 houses there, sir. You must have miscounted, he said, but I knew what I saw. I could still picture the garden, the rocking chair, even the pattern of the curtains. That night, around midnight, I suddenly woke up to a smell drifting through my open window. Fresh bread, stronger than before. I looked outside. Main Street was dark, but at the empty plot where the yellow house used to be, I saw a faint, warm glow, like someone was baking inside an invisible home. The next morning, I checked again. Still empty, still only 4 houses, but the dirt looked looked disturbed, as if someone had walked back and forth all night. I thought maybe it was stress or lack of sleep, so I tried to ignore it. But on the fourth day, another house vanished. This time, the greenhouse was missing. I remember stopping in the middle of the street, mouth open, staring at the blank space where a family of 5 used to live. I had literally seen their kids playing outside the day before. When I asked people about the missing house, they reacted differently this time. Some looked confused, some looked scared. One old woman grabbed my wrist and whispered, "Stop asking. The town forgets what it wants to forget." Forget? Houses? People? That night I stayed awake, watching Main Street from my window. Around 2:40 a.m., I saw movement, something like a shimmer, a bright, soft outline forming at the empty plot. And then I saw them, silhouettes, not humans, thin, like stretched shadows. They moved slowly around the spot where the greenhouse used to be, like they were folding something, folding reality itself. Every time they moved their hands, the air bent like liquid, and then I heard screaming, faint, muffled, like someone far away calling for help. When morning came, the greenhouse was still gone, but the screaming echoed in my head. The next day, I knocked on the blue house's door, desperate for answers. A tired man opened the door. Before I could speak, he whispered, "I know what you're going to say. Look, just forget it. They take what they want. Buildings, people, memories. It is okay." His voice broke. "They took my wife last year, and now I can't even remember her face." I didn't know what to say. My heart raced. Houses were disappearing, people too, and the town was acting like none of it ever existed. I should have never opted for a small town. I decided to take photos, proof for myself. I walked to the main street, took out my phone, and snapped a picture. 5 minutes later, I looked again. The photo showed 4 houses. Even my own memory was being replaced. That night, I heard something new. A knock at my door. Slow, steady, patient. I froze. Then a voice said, "Please, open. It is really cold outside." I knew that voice. It was the voice of a boy from the greenhouse, a boy who didn't exist anymore. I didn't open the door, but the next morning, my apartment building felt smaller. The hallway looked shorter. My neighbor's door was gone, like the town was closing in on me. On the 6th day, only 2 houses were left on Main Street. People were vanishing, memories were fading, street signs were changing, as if the town was eating itself, or being erased piece by someone or something or somebody. Tonight, as I write this, the smell of fresh bread fills my room again. A warm yellow glow shines outside my window. I can hear the rocking chair creaking and someone whispering my name. I think the yellow house is coming back, but now it is coming for me, or my house at least.